Your creative project has stalled for months and now you want to get it back on track. You decide to make a plan because you want to be more productive, and you map out what you're going to do every day with a schedule for when you're going to do which tasks. You make the plan really intense because you want to push yourself and get yourself into gear, and because you feel like you've wasted enough time. That means due dates and aggressive goals, but you're determined. And even though the plan kind of makes you gag, and a part of you knows there's likely no way you're going to be able to get all that done, you override that feeling because your creative work is important to you and you push forward anyway. What happens? The plan fails, but that's not how you experience it. You feel like you have failed. This is a great example of how trying to be productive really messes people up when it comes to planning and their creative work. Once you see the problem, it will help you start making plans that have a much greater chance of actually helping you make reliable progress. And as a bonus resource, if you want, our Four Fascinating Tells Snapshot, which reveals where the way you're trying to craft progress is misaligned with you. Drop tells below and I'll DM it to you. I'm Christine Karen, founder of Good Jelly. I help people who care deeply about their creative work stop trying to be productive and craft progress instead, so their progress becomes not just reliable, but inevitable. Planning is one of the most basic patterns for making progress. You make a plan, you execute the plan, you reflect on the plan, and then you make your next plan. Simple in theory. Unfortunately, the be productive paradigm pushes us to make plans that are not neutral patterns to facilitate progress, but rather weapons designed to punish ourselves into making progress. That's because the be productive paradigm is conceptually limited when it comes to planning. It allows for plans that have one speed, as fast as possible, one tone, aggressive, and one volume, maximum output. Those standards are great if you're a machine whose job it is to churn out work that is already clear, set, and defined. But you are a human being engaged in a creative process that has varying levels of certainty and uncertainty at any given time. You also have a life, and I'm guessing, like most people with meaningful creative work, you have a full life with a lot of responsibilities beyond your creative work, from a job to family to volunteer work to other hobbies and passions. And this is where the be productive paradigm's one speed, one tone, one volume expectations of planning messes people up. One of my clients is an award-winning author who is also dealing with a chronic health condition. Before he started working with me, he was considering walking away from his writing career because he was burning out, and that was compromising his health further. Why was that happening? Because he kept making plans in the be productive style, and those plans kept setting him up with expectations that were not sustainable. Another client was juggling a new baby, a toddler, a full-time job, a rental property she and her husband were managing, and of course her commitment to her relationship with her husband. And she kept making plans that had output and progress expectations that were only reasonable and only maybe reasonable if her only priority was her creative work. So her plans were also not sustainable. Both of these clients knew deep down that the plans they were making would not work. But they didn't listen to that voice inside their head that kept saying, hey, maybe this is a little too much. And the reason why they didn't listen is because the be productive paradigm taught them, as it has taught all of us, that no amount of progress is ever enough. None. No matter how much we get done, it's never enough. That is an unreasonable standard that we've been trained to believe is reasonable. So we try to use plans to push us into doing more than what is humanly or even humanely possible in context of the reality of our lives. And we make plans for our creative work that just get harsher and more unrealistic, that we never get done, which just adds to the belief that we aren't doing enough. That is a huge problem, because instead of our plans being neutral patterns for facilitating progress, the Be Productive paradigm has trained us to turn our plans into aggressive weapons that are supposed to scare maximum output out of us as fast as possible at all times. If you remember only one thing from this video, remember this: your plans will work better when they work with the reality of your life instead of ignoring that reality. Then your plans will remain neutral and highly useful patterns for making progress. And remember, if you want our Four Fascinating Tells Snapshot, which reveals where the way you're trying to make progress is misaligned with you, drop tells below and I'll DM it to you.